Welcome back to Duckman Cycles and VW Garage. I'm your host, the Duckman. We're back today and we're going to go take a ride over to Wild Bill's house. Now, if you remember from the last video, he had that fire late at night and I had to drag his bus home behind my 350Z. And we got it home and he started to tear it apart and started to dig into it and clean off a lot of the fire extinguisher gook that was left behind. And he's got some pretty extensive fire damage, but I haven't seen it yet personally other than right after the fire, so I haven't gotten a good look at it in daylight. So we're going to go take a ride over there in a little while and go check it out. So I'm going to take you guys with me. Don't forget, like, comment, subscribe, pluck that little dingle belly down there next to the subscribe button. That way you get updates every time I upload a new video. And don't forget, check out Duckman Cycles VW Garage over on the Facebook. Thanks you guys for watching. Really appreciate it. Here comes the intro. Bloop. Pulling the car the other night in the dark, but we haven't had an update to see it in daylight. But looks like you started pulling it apart since. So what you got?
Yeah, I did. Well, the first thing that I did was wash all, or as much as I could, of the PKP, the agent that's used in the fire extinguishers to smother the fire and to cool it down.
Yeah, which stunk like hell.
Yes, and it also eroded and corroded like hell too.
Did it?
As soon as it comes in contact with water, the PKP, whatever that chemical agent is, I'd have to look on the extinguisher to be sure.
It becomes corrosive,
something like sodium bicarbonate or something.
That's
becomes very
baking
corrosive.
soda, isn't it?
Of course, this is cheap-ass damn MP10 off of the HMX carburetors, but...
those rust when you sneeze on them.
You see, the soot stains are still there from where the flames were licking up when I opened up the deck lid. I cleaned it up a little bit. But
You actually cleaned it up a lot.
Yes.
It looked like a haunted house the other day.
Yes. But you can see back over on the battery side, you can see the PKP that got up under, and I couldn't wash that off.
Yep.
And of course, I removed the melted rubber screen that goes in front of it, or plastic screen that goes in front of it. The alternator has been removed, and I'll show you why in just a second.
Okay.
And of course, the carburetor that caught on fire back in that corner is over there. This carburetor was virtually untouched. All of those fuel lines that are back there are no longer flexible. They're seared solid, which means a little bit more. With that fuel pump running before I disconnected the battery, if they would have separated, we would have had no rusty here. We would not be talking. I would be looking at that bus behind you, working on it to get it on the road, which I will eventually, but this little fella has helped me entertain a lot of money and time. So the foam rubber seal that goes around the engine compartment and things, which I've had run-ins before on Interstate 95 South.
I remember that one.
Manning, South Carolina.
I lost an engine in that case.
Did. It immediately caught on fire and was burning, and that caught wiring harnesses on fire. This particular wiring harness right here, these wires run to my
trailer stuff,
trailer hitch stuff. And
it's nice and crispy.
Yes, it's gone.
Yeah.
So I'm not really sure how far it shorted up the wiring and different wires. I had another hot wire running from one of these terminals off of the positive side of the battery for my compartment light that I had in there, and it was seared from the inside, which meant it shorted all the way back to the battery. So the battery was under a lot of duress, so it's suspect also as to being good or not. I ain't got into that part of it. I removed the carburetor and immediately noticed in the throat of the carburetor, I'll get to that in a second too. The velocity stacks were pretty well rubber coated. Basically, this is like a rubber coating. It looks like oil, but it's not.
Is it from the way factory, or is that from the fire?
No. That came from the fire. You can see on this
It's cast off.
It's got a rubber seal here and a rubber seal there, and of course paper element required to keep it from collapsing in when you're driving it. That rubber melted from the intense heat, and all of that, I guess it was actually burning when I was driving, and I didn't realize it.
It started to eat all the smoking gunk.
It went into it. And you can see this is this is the plate that bolts onto the bottom of your intake manifold, and you can see it's just a mess. All right, there's not hardly any damage done to the body. The little throttle gizmos that slide in here, or attempt to slide in here, were pretty well. Oh, there we go. You can see the ends of them burned off. That's metal.
That's metal and it burned?
Yes, it melted in.
Wow.
So these were shot. I would have to get a new one of these. And I said, okay, I can probably find those somewhere. In order to remove the top part of the carburetor that has the float assembly in it.
Those empty carbs aren't all that expensive either, though.
No, they're not.
You can actually buy them off of Amazon now with free shipping and get them 2 days.
Yep. That's the main jets. You can see the part that was embedded down into the carburetor. Okay, the top part's got that oily residue on it again. Now, the float assembly, area, with the fuel coming in here, and there's a little inline filter in there, and it comes into this area right here. And it's just like on a PIC 34 or whatever, it just drops down and allows fuel to come in.
Yep.
The first thing that I noticed, and I didn't know if it was from the fire, I'll find out in just a second or later when I take that carburetor off and do it, is look how these things broke down, the floats.
They all cracked to pieces.
All cracked to pieces. Now, I don't know if that's because of the intense heat that was around it, or if it was because inferior materials.
Inferior materials plus ethanol.
Ethanol.
Yeah.
dumped on it. Now, I recommend to use ethanol-free when you can get it. But when you're traveling cross-country, it's damn near impossible.
Can't always find it,
This is one of the reasons why you would probably, and again, I can't confirm this. It'll be confirmed when I look at the other carburetor. This is one of the reasons. Eventually, these chunks would have fallen off. It would have affected the float, how that floats in fuel, and it would have been constantly allowing fuel to come in and just. And I started smelling fuel out of the ears, because you're a good bus driver. You always walk around your bus, and as you go by, you'll sniff the ears. And that'll tell you what the engine's doing.
Any Volkswagen person should be sniffing from the vent,
But it's easy on buses because you don't have to.
It's face level.
Around, you just, and smell it. So, that will tell you what your engine is doing. If it's running too hot, if it's running good, you got an oil leak on a manifold, gasoline leak especially. You want to be very, very particular about that. So, my idea and intent was to take a couple 40. These are 44 HMPXs. I've got a couple of Weber 40s, but they're old, and the amount of time it's going to take to clean the corrosion, and there's not going to be any guarantee that they would run any better than that one, because they're old. And I know I've got rebuild kits. The rebuild kit's not the part of it, it's the actual jets and
stuff, fine tuning,
stuff in it.
Right.
So I'll talk about what I'm going to do about that, because now I have no carburation at all. And I have no alternator. It's on its way from Rock Auto, because if you got a Type 4 engine, you're having a hard time finding Type 4 alternators now. They're getting more scarce.
Darby's having that problem right now over there in Alabama.
Exactly. Now, I've got one that I could have robbed off of that, and I'm sure within my mobile parts bin inside there, there's probably one stuck in there back in my storage areas. So, let's take a walk around here and I'll show you what the alternator did.
Okay. This must be good.
Yeah.
Or not good.
Not good. But a nice little storage over here. Oh, by the way, this is the size fire extinguisher that I had, and I would recommend at least this size, maybe even two of them, because you are 911 until they show up. If you got a hot enough fire, it's going to take every bit of effort and know-how and PKP to put that thing out.
Now, would you say the dust extinguisher is better than a CO2 one?
No, CO2 is good, but this is more effective. CO2 is good on electrical fires because it doesn't damage the equipment. PKP damages the equipment, however, it is a better firefighting agent. And with gasoline fires.
Has a smothering.
Right. You can see it's rated for
feature.
paper, electrical, and gasoline fires. So it's the ABC.
There should be a picture of a Volkswagen bus.
Yes. You can probably have that incorporated on there.
You have to have a new sticker made.
But it used every ounce.
Used the whole thing.
Yes.
And it was still burning.
It had to reach in there with gloves on and get burning pieces of cardboard and insulation out of it. Okay. This, my friends, is the alternator. And as you can see, what slid down here, this is the actual grommet that fits in the metal on the tin. And there's another grommet right here, and you can see that one's cracked too. They don't hold up very good in oil for some reason or another.
Or high heat for that matter.
Yeah. This thing is lock solid.
Oh, it froze up.
Oh yeah. There's no turning in. You can see, I don't know if you can see that well without the
melt some of the insulation on the coils?
Yes. It roasted all of that off, which tells me it actually shorted it out and actually flamed this thing, basically.
Yeah, it might have melted the shellac that's on the wires.
Exactly. And this is the wires. Now you can see there's a big old piece of insulation burn off of this one.
Yep.
This is the wire that came in contact with the metal. And it's really hard to see, but inside of there, it's a round hole that this grommet goes into.
Yep.
And about the 11 o'clock position on that hole, looking at it, there's a big gouge like somebody took a arc welder or a something that just burnt the metal into it. Okay? And, but it roasted that wire all the way back. That hooks onto the starter. This is all crispy on the inside of it. And then this wire runs up to the voltage regulator. You can see there's insulation missing off of these. So I've got the replacement harness for this. Okay, except for that one grommet I got to get in. But I've got a replacement for that.
Okay.
All right.
That's good.
Voltage regulator. Suspect. Don't really know how to test them. I'm not going to take a chance.
Let's see the underside of it. Oh, it's not as bad as I thought.
Nah, it's got a little bit of corrosion from that PKP. But you don't know what that intense heat did on the inside of it.
Yep.
You can remove the tape and see, but...
Yeah, it's one of those things that are not expensive, so, yeah.
Actually, these things, if you buy them brand new, they're $199.
Oh, never mind. I was wrong. I thought it would be $40.
Type 1.
Oh, well, there you go.
Type 4, remember.
Put a Type 1 in there.
4 times as expensive. Oh, this is that rubber material I was telling you that melted on the air cleaner. I threw the air cleaner away. It was so nasty. And then, of course, you can see the damage that was done. It just melted the daggone screen.
Melted your basket.
Yeah. There's the battery right there. Again, that's suspect. Okay, we don't know how well that's going to be operated.
Just me, or does it look a little warped?
It probably...
Think the heat got the one corner of it, shrunk it a little bit? Looks a little short right on this side.
Yeah, that top was loose.
Okay.
So that thing was ready to explode. Basically.
Yeah, and you might even want to take it out of the bus in case it does.
Well, yeah, that's a good idea.
In fact, it's sitting on top of something wet. That tray is wet?
No. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's wet.
It had some rain in it. That's
okay. Oh, good thing.
I tested it with my tongue.
Did you? Right. No. Tastes nice and sour?
No, it tasted...
If it tastes like sour and it's a little farty, it's probably sulfuric acid.
Well, if you get it in the cut, you'll know instantly.
Oh, jeez. I have.
You know.
Even the phosphoric acid tickles.
So, carburation.
Yeah.
Charging system.
Yep.
Wiring harness.
Wiring harness.
All messed up. Okay. You can tell how much intense the heat got. This is the rear engine deck lid cover that goes in there, or covers up the hell hole.
The hell hole cover.
Yeah. You can see that pinkish looking stuff right there is the bottom of my foam rubber bed.
Oh, your bed?
That was laying on top of it. You can see that was directly over where that carburetor was on fire.
And it burned that insulation right out of it.
Right. And this thing has got like cardboard over it and underneath of it, and that cardboard caught on fire too.
Volkswagen was notorious for using cardboard.
Well, that it looks like jute. That, in the old days, that probably would have been horsehair and beeswax.
Yeah.
But this is like jute.
Some kind of cellulose.
Rags. Yeah, ground up rags and stuff. So, my alternative is these two boxes contain the fuel injection and a few other little odds and ends. I'm going to be replacing the carburation right now and putting fuel injection back on it. I got good performance out of the carburetors. I don't have anything bad to say about them, other than the fact that the quality of them these days is pretty suspect. I don't know if you can probably get Weber floats and replace the floats that are in an HMX or any other type of MP carburetor with a good quality float that's not going to break down.
I think they're clones, aren't they?
They are.
Yeah, so some of the stuff may switch.
Yeah, it pretty much
probably will.
Because your rebuild kits, IDFs and Webers, it's the same stuff.
Kit, yeah, okay. It's probably the same stuff.
So, anyway.
Got to find a new reproduction, though. It's ethanol safe.
Right. So the battle plan now is to get Rusty, all 4,000 pounds of him, over on this little paved area right here where I can safely jack it up in the air. I'm going to remove the engine, do a thorough cleanup. I'll be able to get to the wires a lot easier to replace the ones that are burned and be able to trace them back. The starter, thank goodness, it appears like it's okay, but it'll be tested prior to hooking everything up.
That's kind of in a safe place, too. It was out of the way from the fire, huh?
Yeah, it's up on the outside of the firewall. Now, what I've got to do, because I had I had to build a completely different fuel system for these carburetors because it's lower pressure.
Low pressure carbureted.
I left the fuel injection system entirely intact, plugged off on each end.
Oh, good. Okay.
So that part of it's going to be easy, to fix that. I would just have to unplug, after you secure it so it don't drain your fuel tank, the return line for the fuel injection rail. That's what pressurizes the system on your fuel injection. So that part of it is going to be a minor headache. The major headache is, of course, getting the engine out in a driveway. I could tow it down to where there is a lift, but I think I can get everything I need to do right here. I've done it before in the driveway.
Oh, yeah.
And I know some people that have too, and he's holding the camera.
Yep.
He does it every day. What are you thinking about?
Damn near, actually. It seems like I'm always pulling something apart. Keep these YouTubers happy.
Yeah, you're all the time pulling something, that's for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I'm a puller.
Yes. All right. So, anyway, that's what she looks like down in the belly of the beast. Anybody needs one carburetor, I got it. Provided the float is okay. I was really lucky that the fire didn't get up inside of the bus area and catch the interior on fire. Once the interior or the gasoline tank lets loose, they're gone.
Yeah, you're done.
Pretty much history.
Or the magnesium on anything.
Well, actually, that one has mostly aluminum.
Yeah, it's more aluminum.
Yeah, the old
But
boats.
the transmission's still mag.
Yep.
Yeah.
We don't want that to happen.
No. I found out why they did that, by the way. Do you know why the Germans used so much magnesium?
Probably because of the war, left over from the war.
That might have been a part of it, but the big part of it was they have magnesium reserves in Germany.
Aye.
All the other raw materials that came in from elsewhere, but magnesium is actually raw and available in Germany, so it was cheaper.
Yeah.
So it was an ideal material. Despite being a little bit softer, it actually is lightweight, which was a good thing for a Volkswagen. And for them, it was, it's strong, but it's not like aluminum. Right. Although the mag alloys actually do have 2% or 4% aluminum or something like that in them. But
regardless of what metal it is, if you get an engine case or a transaxle submerged in salt water for any length of time, it's gone. They eat themselves from the inside out, basically.
Yep. In fact, I had an old transmission that it got hit by salt water. It was a bus transmission. And I left it in the yard, and it was just falling apart. And I went back and looked at it 6 months later. It was just a pile of gears.
Oh, yeah.
It was gone.
Well, we picked an engine up
gone.
that was over in Don's yard. And when we picked it up, the whole bottom part of the engine stayed there.
That's funny.
And
the oil pump came off of the oval engine the same way, too. And I first took the engine out, the oil pump just fell right off of it.
Now, Rusty is going to have some major repairs done to it once I take the vehicle off the line, and that'll be when I get my square back on the line.
Which I guess was a push for that now, huh?
It could be. But I'm going to do as much corrosion control that I can in the engine bay, replacing the wires, and it's just going to be a hell of a lot easier than fighting the engine on it. You know, especially when I go to start assembling the fuel injection system. You know, it's all laid in there, and it's kind of hard to do it from home, so you're sitting where you can go all the way around it. I got some push rod tubes, O-rings that I want to replace at the same time. So there'll be a few other little odds and ends things going on. Definitely we'll put another engine seal in it.
Yep.
That's always a good thing, regardless if it's leaking or not. If you pull an engine and you have an unknown history as to how old the main seal is, it's always a good idea to go. They're cheap. They're easy to take in and out other than getting the flywheel off.
That's it.
And, you know, but that and the little O-ring that goes into your flywheel on the inside of it. Even automatic.
Yeah, don't forget the O-ring.
Yeah. Don't forget the O-ring.
Don't forget the O-ring.
Yeah,
I've been down that road a few times.
Yep,
oh, what's this little thing laying here in the basket? We forgot this.
We got a couple of club members. They were saying, this thing is leaking like I'm out of. And I said, well, did you replace all of the seals? Yeah, the big one in the back. So what about the little one that goes around the flywheel? What? You know, so that's what it was. These things will just grind down, and because they're
it's easy to not notice it too, where it's at. Yeah, it's real easy to not notice it. And that was the case with me. I just didn't notice it and just forgot about it.
Yep.
Put the motor back together, and it wasn't a bad leak, but it leaked. And sure enough, that's what it was.
But anyway,
you live and you learn.
Glenn, I appreciate you.
You bet. Let's go ahead and get this car moved.
What we'll do is maybe in a week or so, or I hope it's not a week or so. I got parts coming in. I can have this thing. We'll do an upgrade or
do a follow-up
on it,
yeah.
And next time, hopefully you'll hear it running. Definitely need it back on the road. Oh, by the way, give myself a little pat on the back.
Yes.
All right. The Bay Pride Forum sells a calendar of bay window buses on it.
Oh, I see what's going to happen
yes,
there. What you're about to say.
I put my picture into the pile, if you will, and the members of Bay Pride liked it. And whoever got the most likes went to the finals. I think the final was like 100 emails from big here. So while I was up in camping up in Sinla, at the Sinla VW show in Louisiana, Pineville, Louisiana, saying that
who's Jake Gould?
Jake Gould is the webmaster, if you will, for the Facebook page.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I'm not really webmaster, but administrator.
Administrator.
One of many. Real cool guys down in South Florida, loves buses. I mean, you met Jay, he's definitely a bay window. He's Mr. Bay Window. But I got selected. Rusty's going to be July.
July, okay.
Yes. Being summer, you know, it's a picture of Rusty on Daytona Beach.
Nice.
And I was really happy about that. And thanks to everybody out there that voted for me. Appreciate it. And yeah, that's coming out. They'll be for sale before long. And get a couple of them, I think.
Awesome.
Anyway, that's all I got.
All right, well, let's get this thing moved.
Yes.
We'll follow up with you later, see what kind of progress you got. As always, subscribe to Wild Bill VW on YouTube. He's going to post some videos soon, right, Bill?
Yes.
People are subscribing, and they're saying, well, he's not posting anything.
I've been busy.
Well, just record your 10-minute video and upload it.
Yeah.
You can upload while you're working.
Exactly.
Yeah, see? All right, we're out.
All right, thanks.
anyways, that's it for now. We'll run some more updates as soon as he gets a little more progress done, and I will have another ride over and go check out his bus. Until then, don't forget, like, comment, subscribe, pluck the dingle belly down below so that way you get updates every time I upload a new video. And don't forget, check out Duckman Cycles VW Garage over on the Facebook. That way you can join the group page and discuss the projects that we've got, as well as Bill's bus. Whatever you want to talk about. Thank you guys for watching. Really appreciate it. We'll see you next time. Blah.